Because the truth is, most guys know how to lose fat, but they look for the easy way out, getting sucked into doing ab workouts or trying the next best diet. This is Johnny. Yo. Hi! 5'5", he's shy, he has low confidence. He wishes he was better looking. Maybe then he'd get more attention. Maybe then he would actually feel good about himself. You see, his whole life he was judged and compared to those around him. He was good at some things but never amazing at anything. And then one day, walking past his local gym, he looks in. He spots a lean, muscular guy taking his shirt off, and that was when everything flipped. Gym starter pack, check. Subscribe to top fitness influencers, check. Binge watch how-to videos, check. And after months of working out, he gains 10 pounds, outgrowing his clothes, and sadly, just a bit of muscle. And no, Johnny's not a little bit. He's just fallen into the trap most guys fall into when starting out at the gym. The trap of, I need to do more. I need more protein, and doing things like ab workouts that barely made a dent in his progress, as well as being conditioned to only doing what's easy. And perhaps you're in the same boat. But over the past 10 years, I've managed to go from this to this. So luckily for you, I'm going to show you exactly how to build muscle and lose fat at the same time, while avoiding the same mistakes I made early on in my journey. And so to build muscle and lose fat at the same time is also known as body recomposition. It's basically a way to transform your body, and arguably the best way. So the idea is to eat less calories than your body burns, allowing your body to break down fat for energy. And I'll explain this in more detail, but it's like how a polar bear can go up to 6 months without much food. But first you need to understand why body recomp is important. Like, why should you care? When you see this, chances are they've done a body recomp, aka build muscle and lose fat over a period of time. And if that doesn't turn heads, then I've lost faith in humanity. Imagine that overweight guy you've known since primary school, and then one day you see him with 2% body fat. You'd be amazed and jealous at the same time. In other words, when you drop fat, all your true features come out, like your abs, jawbone, your shoulder striations come out from a 6-year hibernation, and of course, if that was your transformation, boy, would you be the most confident guy in the room. Like, imagine waking up with 6-pack abs, pull out a block of cheese and start grating that into your breakfast burrito. At that point, you'd probably want to take a pic and post it on social, and then wait for the DMs to flood your inbox. More fuel to the fire, if you know what I mean. So you might have heard of the big mass debate. I mean the debate about weight training versus cardio, and it's primarily about which one being the best for losing fat and keeping it off. Well, cardio burns more calories, right? Well, yes, but first, understand these two things if you want to avoid aimlessly spinning your wheels week after week. Number 1, muscle burns 6 calories per pound per day at rest. Basically, the more muscle you have, the more calories you burn without moving a muscle. See what I did there? Number 2, weight training versus cardio. Which is better for getting lean and staying lean? Well, it's like buying a house versus renting. In other words, it's like paying to live in a house you eventually own, versus paying to live in a house that will never be yours. What I mean is, building more muscle is kind of like increasing your wealth building assets, where it starts to work for you, burning more calories at rest than the next guy, making it easier to stay lean once you get lean. But with cardio, you're having to burn every single calorie every time in order to lose weight. And that's because you simply haven't built any muscle or assets. So once you build muscle, it's yours, you look good, naked, confidence grows, resting metabolism increases, and you become a fat burning machine. Fully sick, bro. And that's what makes body recomposition, building muscle and losing fat at the same time, the king of transforming your body, building a physique most guys and girls will continue to froth over, like putting salt on a snail. Just kidding, that's not right. And I'm not saying cardio is bad, but if you want bang for your buck and actually keep what you've built and play the long game, then you want to focus more on building muscle. So with that in mind, and speaking of mind, let's talk about the mindset behind how to body recomp. And this is important if you want to do this one time over instead of starting over year after year like 99% of guys do, only to become worse off strengthening the quitting muscle. So body recomp, it's simple in theory but harder in practice, or else we'd all be walking 6-pack freaks. And as you probably already know, there's a ton of distraction around us, and most guys are conditioned to do what's easy, like gaming for a quick dopamine hit, drinking caffeine versus getting a good night's sleep, having a shake instead of eating a healthy whole foods diet, or looking for the next best thing to buy instead of building a money-making skill. People just want it easy. And so I see a lot of guys simply consuming information without actually doing. Because the truth is, most guys know how to lose fat, but they look for the easy way out, getting sucked into doing ab workouts or trying the next best diet. And at the end of the day, if you know what you're doing and you have the right mindset, you can make any diet work. Vegan, keto, low carb, whatever that may be, but without doing and being consistent, you'll actually become worse off. And there's a famous quote by William S. Burroughs. God knows who he is and what he does, but he says, when you stop growing, you start dying. Say no more. Okay, let's jump into how to recomp your body in practice. There's 2 steps, and most actually skip over these. And it's like walking in reverse into a dark forest with your eyes closed. You're basically fucked. Step 1 is to track your diet, and this is crucial if you find it hard to drop weight and keep it off. The idea is you must understand the basics, the foundations, like what are calories? What do they do? How many calories are you consuming each and every day? And no, you don't even have to track your food forever. And I say that because I don't. So just track until you understand what foods are high versus low in calories, what's nutrient dense, what's a good protein source, and so forth. But basically there are things you need to know so you can make the best decisions when it comes to food. And you won't know everything ever. You just need to know enough to get results. And then if you want to know more, cool. I mean, even to this very day, I'm still Googling how many calories in a burger or benefits of eating cabbage. Sometimes these things just don't stick. We're just all wired differently. And it's like, you can't be a millionaire if you don't know basic money skills. There's just no avoiding that. So number 1, track your calories. Number 2, know your maintenance calories. That is the number of calories to maintain your weight. So to calculate your maintenance calories, do a quick Google search, follow the steps, and you'll get a number like 2,000 calories, for example. Remember, eat under this and you'll lose fat over time. And if you don't lose fat, it's called plateauing. And there are ways to troubleshoot this, like eating a cheat meal. And to build muscle, that's a totally different ballgame in itself, but it's not as hard as you think. It's actually a lot easier than losing fat, in my opinion. And you can see this if you simply look around, if you know what I mean. And if you're not where you want to be, I suggest focusing on the fat loss part first. And to give you an idea, anywhere up to 1,000 calories below maintenance is considered safe. And of course, the less calories you eat, the faster you lose fat, theoretically. So now you have at least a better idea of how to recomp your body. But there's one last piece to the puzzle, and some call this shifting your identity. You might have heard of this phrase, but to be honest, I think it's a little too abstract and confusing. Instead, a better solution is to find the root cause. Like with any problem, ask yourself why. Like, why do I always feel tired by 12 p.m? Why do I feel unmotivated? Why do I find it hard to get myself to work out even though I know I should? And so if you do a little research, you'll start to see that it might be your diet, or you may be lacking vitamin D, or perhaps you're oversleeping. The idea is to look for the root cause and then fix that. Because once you do that, then everything else should fall into place. And so the biggest issue I see is that people like to band-aid their problems. For example, taking Panadol for a headache when the root cause is not drinking enough water or getting enough oxygen. Or buying fat loss shakes when the root cause may be high stress. And if the core problem is not fixed, you'll continue to throw these things under the rug, which may then lead to bigger problems down the track. That's it from me. If you want, you can access my exact workout program for free down below. It's a 20 to 30 minute workout 4 days a week. Or check out my last video where I explain this in more detail. Otherwise, let me know what you want to see next. And if you found this valuable and you know others will too, do me a favor and give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe if you want to see more. Have an amazing day. Bye.